video, I'll be talking about dual boot versus virtualization. So let's get started. So what do I actually mean by dual boot? Suppose you have one PC and one laptop, and this PC is running Windows 7 operating system and this laptop is running Ubuntu operating system. Now you want the Ubuntu functionalities also at some point of time. That is, you want Ubuntu to work on your work time or some kind of projects, but you don't want to navigate to laptop for only Ubuntu functionalities. So what you can do is you can install two different operating systems in one PC. That is, you will install Windows 7 and Ubuntu in same system, so that you can use both the functionalities. That is what we call dual boot. So let's discuss some pros and cons about this dual boot. The pro is you can use both the functionalities in one system, but the con is you need to always restart your system to choose Ubuntu. So that you need to switch off your system and then you need to click on Ubuntu to use Ubuntu operating system. You can't use both the operating systems at the same time. That is one main disadvantage of dual boot. But you can always use different operating systems whenever you want by restarting. But you can't use this conveniently, because what will happen if you want to use both the operating systems at the same time? Suppose you are working on a production environment and you need to use Linux more. Production environments are basically more about Linux than Windows, and you need to always use different distributions to test different types of configurations. Then you need to use Linux, but you're using Windows. So what are you going to do? Are you going to dual boot? Will you dual boot every single distribution in your operating system? Do you want to run two different operating systems in your system just for one configuration purpose? That's going to take a lot of time and it's going to kill a lot of resources. So what actually came in the play is virtualization. So what do I actually mean by virtualization? Virtualization can be understood by this picture very easily. The hardware here is your system. That is your 8 GB RAM, your 1 TB hard disk, or whatever hardware it is, whatever system you're using. And this virtualization over here is VirtualBox, VMware, hypervisors, different kind of virtualization capabilities inbuilt in it. Then this OS is using VirtualBox, you can install any different operating systems inside the VirtualBox. So if you want to install Ubuntu, you can install Ubuntu in the VirtualBox and you can work on it. If you want to install Fedora, you can install Fedora inside the VirtualBox and work on it. Any number of operating systems and any OS can be installed in VirtualBox at any point of time, so that you can always use two operating systems at the same time. But there is one thing over here that is very important. You always need to share your resources. Suppose you have a RAM of 8 GB and a 1 terabyte of hard disk and you want to install Ubuntu operating system, then what you have to do is you need to share 2 GB or 3 GB RAM with Ubuntu, because it needs the RAM to run and it needs a memory to run. So you always need to share your resources to the operating system inside the VirtualBox. So you need to make sure that you have a proper RAM and hard disk ready for it so that it can run smoothly. That is how virtualization works. You can install any operating system, but you need to share the resources. But remember, it is still isolated. Suppose you want to try doing some malware research, or you want to try doing some different kind of configuration stuff or whatever, you can always install a different operating system inside a VirtualBox and you can work on it. And suppose you don't know what you're doing and you infected the VirtualBox with some virus, the virtual machine, then you can just immediately remove it whenever you want. So let me show you how you can add and remove virtual machines inside a VirtualBox right now, so you can get a clear understanding of virtualization. So let me show you. I'll show you this in my VirtualBox. So see this over here. This is my Kali Linux virtual machine right now, which is in aborted state because I'm not using it. Now let me show you the settings. The name which I have given is for the Kali Linux, and then type is Linux because it's Linux, and then there is Microsoft Windows, Solaris, BSD, different types of types, and then version is Debian, Fedora, Arch Linux, different types of versions are available. And then you can go to advanced and you can see where I'm saving all the snapshots. And then if you go to system, you will be able to see how much RAM I have given it. I have allocated it a 2 GB of RAM to run it smoothly. But if you want to run it more smoothly, then you can also give 3 GB of RAM. But my system only has an 8 GB of RAM, so I only gave it 2 GB. Then coming to display, it uses 128 MB of display, that is obvious. And then coming to storage, the main thing over here is it's dynamically allocated storage, which I have given. That is 80 GB is allocated to it, but its actual GB is only 15. But 80 GB is already allocated. You can't just be like you did not use the 80 GB of storage and you're only using 15 GB. But the system still allocates 80 GB so that you can't use that 80 GB at all. You can't do anything out of that 80 GB except for running the Kali Linux and storing the Kali Linux files. And the location is shared in users, MacHD, and whatever the location I have given to it. Then there is audio, core audio and audio controllers. Then there is network types. I have given it as a host only adapter because that's how I work with my hacking stations. And then there is different types of network connection types like NAT, bridge adapter, internal network, NAT network, different types of network types. I'll show it more clearly later on. And then there are ports, that is serial ports COM1, COM2 and COM3. And there are USB connections too. So you can use USB connections inside the virtual box, inside the virtual machine of Kali Linux. And then there is shared folders if you want to share the folders. And those are the main settings which you want to know. Now, how can you remove an operating system which you installed? You can just click on the operating system and click on remove, and you'll be able to delete all the files with the memory also removed. Then, if you want to create an operating system inside this virtual box, click on new, enter a name. Suppose I want to enter a name Linux, and then I give it as a type as Linux because I mostly use Linux. And then version, what is the version you want to try? So suppose you want Ubuntu 64-bit, good. And where do you want to save it? Users by MacHD by VirtualBox VMs. You can give any location you want. Then go click on continue. The recommended memory size is 1024 MB, but 1024 MB is never enough for a virtual machine because the memory which it needs is more than 2 GB at least. So what I use mostly is 2500 MB or 3 GB of RAM. So you can just click on this and you can go beyond it, 2500 MB, and click on continue. Now what you need to do is hard disk. This is the main thing. You can create a virtual hard disk or you can use an existing virtual hard disk file. So how can you get an existing virtual hard disk file? You just need an ISO image, which you can find it over the internet. Suppose you want to install Kali Linux OS inside a virtual box. What you can do is, you can go to Google and you can go to offensivesecurity.com by Kali Linux VMware image, that URL, which I'll post it in the description. You can just click on this Kali Linux VirtualBox 32-bit OVA, which is of 3.0 GB, and you can always download this image file and then go to this option, use an existing virtual hard disk file and select that file and click on create. After click on create, you will be able to see the operating system ready. You can use this virtual Kali Linux and you can do anything you want inside it. It is totally isolated and you can always remove it, or you can add it, or you can give more RAM to it by going to settings. It's everything is possible to do. You can just go on system and you can give more RAM if it gets slow down. Or if you want to process to be more, you can just go beyond it, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. You can do anything you want. Remove and add. It's very easy. It's very convenient and you can always use different functionalities, different distributions inside your Windows operating system. So that is what is virtualization is. This is one of the most important thing which you can use in your production environments, because you can't use different operating systems every time. So you just need a virtual box and you can run different operating systems inside it and work on them. So that's it guys for this video. Thank you. See you soon.